shot by Buddha. Facebook Gaming in the building.
Into the end zone! Five Nations, stand up!
Last division that we're going to break down on who had the best offseason roster-wise. Super Bowl champion Seahawks came out of this division. So who do y'all think had the worst offseason? Let's not even speculate. Arizona Cardinals. When you got your backup quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, demanded money, and his backup is Gardner Minshew, coming off an injury from the Chiefs. You got Carson Beck and Keaton Slovis as your four quarterbacks. You can't be looking good in a division with defenses as good as the Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks. Now, I'm going to give them some love in the end, but we got to give them tough love out the gate and just say that drafting Jeremiah Love in a situation where they had Algier and James Conner, I thought that would have been a chance for them to trade back. People were trying to rag the Titans for not trading back. The Cardinals, I think, for sure should have traded back out of 3 and tried to get more to add to this roster. Marvin Harrison Jr., I think they've been wasting the young years. Michael Wilson's good. They got Kendrick Bourne, Devin Duvernay. Nothing that really scares you, but their real weapon is Trey McBride. He is a complete goon. I think they actually have a decent set of pass catchers when you add Jeremiah Love in. Problem is the QB situation. Offensive line, picked up Basantis. You got Paris Johnson, Samalo, Wilkinson. Tennessee Titan legend. They got a really good swing tackle in Udo. Josh Sweat, Lopez, Walter Nolan. Can he have a good year too? Darius Robinson, Cody Simon, Matt Wilson, really good linebacker. Zaven Collins, Will Johnson, Ricky from last year, Buda Baker, great veteran, Wingard, Denzel Burke, Gary Williams, Murphy Button. I ain't gonna lie, they're thin on so many positions that this is why I felt like they should have traded back. I just don't think I got enough talent in this division, and let's get to their draft. Really could have improved this roster twofold by trading out of this pick, but you do got one of the more dynamic players in this draft in Jeremiah Love to go with Connor. You got Chase Basantis, one of the better guards in the draft, and not a bad move if Carson Beck can be like a Tyler Shook, and after they get whatever they want figured out in the quarterbacks in front of him, if they can get Carson Beck to come in the second half of the season and show some fire, you know, that might be their way of saving, because they had to be pressed mid-March to get rid of Kyler Murray and dump that contract. Really kind of in a similar position to the Miami Dolphins. Go D-tackle in the 4th with Proctor, wide receiver Virgil out of Texas Tech, Sherrar, linebacker from Iowa, and Jaden Williams, offensive tackle from Ole Miss. Top of the draft looks good. Bottom of the draft, Cardinals got a long way uphill. All right, second team in this division in offseason, I have to say, if the Cardinals didn't bomb it, a team that always has it figured out in the front office is the Rams. And I told y'all I thought that they would draft Ty Simpson, but the only problem is Puka Nacua had off-field issues. You don't know how much longer Matt Stafford is going to play. Tay Adams is getting a little bit older. And I think this is another team that may go after one of those veteran free agents to try to win now, because their front office said that they felt like any of the guys, Makai Lemon and Kenyon Sadiq, who they were looking at, they didn't feel like would impact the roster enough to take them over Ty Simpson. So you got Whittington. They lost Tutu Atwell, their speedster. You got Kobe Parkinson, Tyler Higbee, Terrence Ferguson, Max Clare. Really good tight end room. They always have a good offensive line with the way McVay runs that offense. But Poona Ford, Braden Fisk, Byron Young, Jared Verse, Spates, Landman. They got Jalen Watson from the Chiefs. They got Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, who they traded one of their 2 first-round picks for. Got Cam Curl, Cam Kinchins, and Quentin Lake. I really like their secondary. I think their secondary is with Emmanuel Forbes. I think they got a really good defense. Solid offense. Can Puka Nacua shake off the off-field stuff? I still feel like they need a little bit more flair on offense. And it's going to be yet to be seen whether this decision to go quarterback for the future in a year where they had 2 first-round picks, because this is actually Atlanta's pick, and they sent their first-round pick for McDuffie, which I feel like was a smart move because you got 2, but I was really expecting them to try to add an impact player. Where they were at, they probably could have got, Makai Lemon with Puka Nacua and Tay Adams would have been nuts. But could they have traded out of 13 and picked up an extra pick to try to get Ty Simpson and still get more value? Who knows? But Max Clare, tight end out of Ohio State, Keegan Tross, tackle out of Missouri, C.J. Daniels, wide receiver out of Miami, and then Tim Keenan, Roll Tide. Really good D tackle, a good gap eater, Alabama. So not a bad offseason, but I can't see that they added anything to help them get over the edge. But they may add some stuff in the free agency the year that they did when they got like Odell and they got all those free agent guys they picked up the year they won a Super Bowl. It could be a situation like that where they're trying to go after veterans in a win now mode, or if not, they're gonna blow it up and rebuild. Third team, Cam was always first was popping. Third team in the division, world champion Seahawks. And the reason why is like with a team that lost Boy Mafe and Tariq Woolen and K9, the MVP. They lost a few players, but it don't seem like it's really a hole because of the way that they've been drafting. Still got Sam Darnold, Drew Lock, and Jalen Milroe. You got Charbonnet, Jadarian Price, and George Holani at running back. Got JSN, number 1 receiver in the NFL last year with Horton, Bobo, Cooper Kupp, and Rashid Shaheed. Still got a solid receiver room. AJ Barner, Arroyo from Miami last year. 2 really good tight ends. Obviously, they got Gray Zabel, Cross Lucas. Offensive line, super solid. Big Cat, Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Murphy, Jaron Reed. Still got the big boys up front. Then you go Drake Thomas, Ernest Jones, Chinna and Wusu at backers, with Devin Witherspoon leading the secondary, with Josh Jobe, who really stepped up, Julian Love, Nick Emenwari, the star hybrid safety, nickelback, and then they got Ty Okada. But you got Bud Clark that they got in the draft, and let's see how much of that they was able to reload through the draft, because I felt like the Seahawks had a good draft. Jadarian Price, running back out of Notre Dame. I think this was a smart move. A lot of people may not agree, but letting K9 go and letting somebody else pay him after you got the Super Bowl, throwing in Jadarian Price, safety Bud Clark out of TCU is a dog. Julian Neal, cornerback out of Arkansas. Bo Stevens, guard from Iowa. Emmanuel Henderson Jr., wide receiver out of Kansas. Andre Fuller, cornerback from Toledo. Devin Eastern, D-tackle out of Minnesota. And Michael Dansby, cornerback from Arizona. Seems like they wanted to add a lot of help in the secondary. They got the guys up front. I can still see them picking up a free agent edge rusher to add to that group. But overall, I thought from a team that won the Super Bowl last year, the Seattle Seahawks definitely plugged all their holes well. Seems like they're a team that drafts in advance to where when guys step on, it was already somebody being groomed to that spot. All right, let's get into the last and final team in this division. The San Francisco 49ers, who've been dealing with a lot of injury since their Super Bowl run a few years ago. Always one of the better front offices, and we were all wondering why they kept trading back and kept trading back and kept trading back. But what they did in free agency to me was way more important than what they just specifically did in the draft. Now peep this. Obviously, I think they got, having Mac Jones for $2.5 million is stealing. There was flirting that a team would have to give them a first round pick for Mac Jones. I think at this point you just leave him there. It might not be good for Mac Jones' career unless somebody gets super desperate and wants to just salvage, wants to sell the farm for Mac Jones. But when you got a good backup that can win for $2.5 million locked in the contract, you kind of just sit there. Yeah, Cam for sure. We know it's Christian McCaffrey is, Jordan James, Kalen Black from Indiana. The 49ers getting Mike Evans after all the trouble with Deebo Samuel and Ayuk, and them guys just putting guys out of a grocery store at receiver and the offense still moving last year. Because they're slow playing Ayuk like they should. Getting Mike Evans and Christian Kirk in free agency with Ricky Pearsall drafting Stribling and then bringing back Demarcus Robinson, they still could add another veteran in free agency because they're in a win now mode. Obviously, George Kittle, Jake Tong stepped up last year when Kittle went down. Obviously, used check. They got Big Trent back and McKivitz, so they got their bookend tackles back with Jake Brundle at center. So a team that wants to slow ball you with Christian McCaffrey, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, use check with now I think Stribling is basically going to be I think Stribling is going to be a great piece for them because of the way they play. Here on defense, last year, Bosa and the rookie Michael Williams both was out. You get Osa in free agency, and you get Bosa and Michael Williams back healthy. With the guys they got up front, they did lose Robert Saleh to the Titans, but they get Greenlaw back. Fred Warner will be back healthy. Lenore, Jair Brown, Mustafa, Renardo Green, Upton Stout, they drafted last year. Picked up Nate Hobbs. Can he get back healthy? And Jack Jones. I think they slowly and quietly added a lot of good pieces to go with their draft, to where like their free agency was so good it makes their draft make sense. Stribling is basically Jawan Jennings' clone. So that makes it like, was it a reach picking him at the first pick in the second round? Maybe they could have got him later, but if you feel like he's the Jawan Jennings clone, dealing with everything from Jawan Jennings, Deebo Samuel, and Ayuk all being gone, I think he fits what they want to do. Getting Romello height, just a pure edge rusher from Texas Tech to go along with getting Bosa and Michael back. Kalen Black, running back out of Indiana. 49ers always pick good backs. Halton, D tackle from Oklahoma. Carver Willis, offensive tackle from Washington. Ephesians Prysock, probably one of the best names in the draft, cornerback from Washington. Jaden Duggar, linebacker out of Louisiana, and Enrique Cruz Jr., tackle out of Kansas. Maybe they think they could groom one of these guys to be a tackle. With Trent, nearing the end of his career, but I think the 49ers made the most and the biggest splashes in the offseason in the NFC West. But I think this is, outside of the Cardinals, I think this is going to be pretty competitive between the Seahawks, who have to have everything, the stars realigned for them to make another push again to defend their title. And then the 49ers got to be more healthy than they was last year. They can't possibly be as depleted as they was last year. And then you got the Rams. Can they put the pieces back together and get Puka out of rehab long enough for them to make a real run? But the Rams, Seahawks, and Niners are three teams that are going to be on that Spotrac board looking for free agents come June 1st to try to sign some veterans in to make their push, because those three teams are in a Super Bowl window. They got to have it now. They got Ayuk, but I don't see him playing for the Niners. They've already said that maybe he'll find a home somewhere else, but if they do trade him or are able to move him, I don't know who wants to take a chance to give up draft capital in the 27 draft for Ayuk, and this guy's not even answering his phone.